Vulnerable Senate Dem open to legislation ending birthright citizenship. Joe Donnelly in Indiana. Blue no matter who gets you Joe Donnelly. Where have you guys heard that before? Where have you, on this show? That's where you've heard it. That's where you've heard it. But Joe Donnelly over in Indiana, the vulnerable Democratic candidate running for re-election in Indiana, said he was open to looking at legislation that would end birthright citizenship during a Tuesday debate. I'm the only person on the stage who voted 3 times for a border wall. He's bragging about this. This is a Democrat. This is a Democrat. I voted against sanctuary cities. I've stood for secure borders with John McCain. This is Joe Donnelly speaking, a Democrat, bragging about how much he's like John McCain. Bragging about how he wants a border wall. And now he might stand beside Donald Trump in ending birthright citizenship. A racist, horrible piece of legislation. I heard you say that Senator Lindsey Graham is going to put, this is getting back to his quote, I heard you say that Senator Lindsey Graham is going to put legislation forward to rescind the law. We have to take a look at it. I'd want to see that legislation, make sure it was constitutional, and review it first. Donnelly's Republican opponent, Mike Braun, also declined to comment his support to one side of the issue, but said if Lindsey Graham's introducing it, it will be something to look at. President Trump made his intention to use an executive order to end birthright citizenship known. And he can't just do that via an executive order, but he can do it via the courts. See, here's the thing. Whenever people say, don't you see the difference? When Donald Trump introduces legislation like this, sometimes people say, don't you see the difference between Republicans and Democrats? And that misses the bigger picture of what's really going on here. Because the point of just saying, just vote Democrat and don't ask questions, that's when you get the type of Democrats that empower this horrible legislation. That's when you get your Joe Donnellys, you get your Joe Manchins. That's what happens. So you're just having a Democrat in name only that's just going to empower these horrible policies. So the question isn't, don't you see the difference between these fascist policies and somebody that won't introduce these fascist policies? The question is, how do we stop getting elected officials that try to push through these fascist policies that nobody wants? That is completely disconnected from public opinion. Completely. And the way we do that is to try to break this system, is to stop allowing this system to be treated like it's normal. It's not normal. This is not an okay system. This system does not deserve to be revered. It does not deserve to be put on a platform as in respectable system, because it isn't. It isn't a respectable system. It's a gross, rigged system. And the way I see it, the only way to fight that is to get on the ground locally, to protest, to get out in the streets, to join a social movement, to support candidates that represent the change you really want to see. And it's going to happen from the ground up. It's not going to happen if you just show up every 4 years and vote for the lesser of two evils, quote unquote. It's not going to work that way. Nothing's going to change. The evils are going to keep getting progressively worse. And how can you not see that when you have a Nazi sympathizer sitting in the White House? How can you not see that when you have a Nazi sympathizer sits in the White House? Because it keeps getting further and further and further to the right. When's it going to, I mean, do we need to have Democrats that look like Donald Trump? Is that what it's going to take? Is it going to take Democrats are Nazi sympathizers and Republicans are straight up Nazis? Is that what it's going to take? Because we're getting there. I mean, there's an open Nazi running in Illinois. I mean, what's it going to take? Until you find out the lesser of two evils. It gets you to a I mean, it's broken. It's broken. Joe Donnelly, oh yeah, end it. Go ahead.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and